Hey, lightning in a bottle. I'm super bummed we're not able to kick off the summer at the festival we all love. From the music, to the art, the interactivity, the totems, workshops, and all the things we love about Lightning in a Bottle. I'm super grateful to the Do Lab for including me in this digital version. Because so many of you love our game, Get Rich Nuts, we decided to make it digital this year. So check out our website, richnuts.com, where you can find out how to win the best nuts ever. For now, enjoy my workshop, Sprouted Nutnog, Nectar of the Gods. Hey everybody, this is Fireman Rich with Rich Nuts. Today we're going to learn how to make Sprouted Nutnog, Nectar of the Gods. I'm going to share with you why it's important to sprout your nuts before you eat them, take you through the simple nutnog process, give you a couple of recipes, and a simple hack for when you're short on time. I discovered the benefits of sprouting while working as a firefighter in Malibu. And not only did sprouting nuts solve my digestive issues, but they tasted amazing and gave me great energy. I couldn't get enough of them, and neither could my friends. And that's why I started Rich Nuts. Nuts and seeds have evolved over time to survive our digestive tract. The plants concentrate certain substances like phytic acid and lectins, which by design block, inhibit, and disrupt our digestion so that nut or seed can pass through us. At that point, they can still grow into a new plant. So what we do to mitigate that is we soak them in water to activate them. They go into a growth phase, they become more digestible, and therefore more nutritious. And that's why we sprout nuts. I always like to start out with giving a blessing for our food. So we'll just start with blessing these ingredients. We're so grateful for all that it took to get them here, the fossil fuels, the people power, the sunshine, the water, the minerals, all the forces seen and unseen, the millions of years of evolution. May they bless our mind, our body, and soul. Aho. To end up with a really great nutnog, you need to start out with really great ingredients. Each nutnog has a base of sprouted nuts, and then it has 4 categories of ingredients: sweet, salt, fat, and flavor. The base. We're going to start with sprouted pecans. These have been soaked in water for 6 hours to activate them. The water has been removed. They're now ready to eat and digest. Macadamia nuts. These we soak for 2 to 4 hours, then we remove the water, either eat immediately, make into nutnog, refrigerate, or dehydrate. Now we go to the sweet category. Maple syrup is one of my favorite, especially Kurt Sawyer's maple syrup. This comes from a small, regeneratively sourced farm in Jackman, Maine, which is 6 miles from the Canadian border. Honey is delicious and local. That way we get the nutrients that help boost our immune system and help alleviate seasonal allergies. Stevia can be a little bit tricky to work with. You have to mix in the right amount of fat, otherwise it tastes kind of flat, but it can give you a sugar-free nutnog. Dates are my favorite. I absolutely love dates. Enough said. Salt. Real salt. This stuff is delicious. It comes from a mine in Utah. It's an ancient seabed. It's filled with lots of minerals that help us function optimally. Now we come to fat. Mct oil is good for your brain. It's a distilled version of coconut oil. I really love Dr. Bronner's coconut oil. It comes from Sri Lanka. They have a co-op that they started there after the tsunami. Wonderful story. Now we get to flavor. Flavor, we start with cacao. This is one of the flavors. We can have a chocolate nutnog. And we can also have cinnamon, which kind of gives it a little bit of a holiday flair. Then we have vanilla as our final flavoring. Altogether, these are what help us make a delicious sprouted nutnog. To make sprouted nutnog, you need a few simple tools. The main one is a high-powered blender. I like the Vitamix. It's a very reliable machine. If you want to make a little smaller batch, you can use the Magic Bullet. And we have a measuring spoon and a measuring cup. Simple stuff. Then we have a colander to remove the water from our nuts after we sprout them. And then we have a fine strainer to remove the pulp once we're done making the nut milk. This can also be done with cheesecloth. And then we have a simple bowl to soak our nuts in. We're going to start with a Macadamia Nut Recipe. We have our 4 ounces of sprouted macadamias, 4 cups of water, 3 pitted dates, a teaspoon of coconut oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 4 dashes of real salt. Now all we have to do is throw it in the blender. Get it loud. All right, let's give it a taste and see what we got. Oh my God, it's really good. Wow. The next step is super simple. It's straining the milk. You're gonna go ahead and pour it in here. It's gonna filter out all the pulp. Some people like to keep the pulp in, some don't. I prefer to keep it in. So once we get the pulp out, you can either use this to make nut bread with it, or you can warm it up and have it with dried or fresh fruit as a cereal. It's really delicious. Here's the final product, sprouted macadamia nut nog. Super creamy, delicious, very, very luscious. I love this stuff. And you can keep it in the fridge for 2 to 3 days, and it may separate a little bit. If it does, just give it a shake or put it back in the blender. We never really have that problem because ours never makes it that long. If you want to change it up, it's super simple. Here we have 4 ounces of sprouted pecans, which is about a cup. We have 4 cups of water, maple syrup, 4 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon of cacao, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of Mct oil, along with 4 dashes of salt. Throw those all in the blender, and voila, we have a whole new festive flavor. Up next, we have my favorite part, the hack. If you don't have time to do all this process, you're too busy, you got stuff going on, I get it. I get in the same place. Here's the hack. You take 4 ounces of rich nuts, maple pecans, which are already sprouted and dehydrated. They have maple syrup and vanilla on them. You throw them in a blender with water, 3 cups, and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, 4 dashes of salt, and you have sprouted nut nog in a flash. It's an easy hack that anyone can do in a moment's notice. There you have it. 3 simple ways to make delicious sprouted nut nog. And now you have all the tools to make your own special blend. Just remember the 4 essentials: sweet, salt, fat, and flavor. And don't forget to check out our website, richnuts.com, and explore our gourmet flavors. And as I mentioned earlier, amazing products start with amazing ingredients. And I have a passion for finding the absolute best. If you're interested in learning more about sprouting, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rich Nuts.